This is Rubbernecker. We're going to start in a few seconds. We'll let just a few people gather onto the video before we get going. Hi, this is Dave with Rubbernecker. We're here for the Scrapbook Expo's at-home video party. We're going to talk about our new line of inks. They're called Color Fuse. We have 12 basic colors, and we have 4 shades in each color. We're going to be using those along with one of our new photopolymer stamp sets, number 3301. We're going to be using the orange section, the orange color, and this stamp set. So let's get started. Let's set everything off to the side. So with the orange set, we've got 4 separate colors in it. So I'm going to show you how we can make more use of those colors than just the 4 basics. So let's grab our MISTI and get it set up. Just going to use a basic piece of 80-pound cardstock. Put our magnets in place to hold it. And we're going to select one of the flowers from that set. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to use the first 4 colors, and we're going to stamp each of these one time with color. That's the lightest one. It's called Mango. We wipe that one off. We're going to reposition the stamp. And we're going to stamp the next one on that one. It's called Citrus. Clean off the stamp again, reposition, and move on to Apricot, the 3rd darkest color. The paper takes the colors really well. This is Cougar paper. We get it from the paper cut. And finally, the last one is called Pumpkin. So 4 cubes, 4 colors. But now let me show you what else we can do. Now we're going to start back at the beginning again, and we're going to use the same stamp, and we're going to use the Mango. And the difference this time is that we're going to just pick it up, and we're just going to ink it up again and give it 2 layers. And you can see it's darker than the first layer, the first Mango, but it's not as dark as Citrus. And now we'll show you what happens when we stamp Citrus twice. So you can see it doesn't come up to the darkness of the apricot, but it's much darker than just one level of citrus. And now we'll reposition it and we'll throw a couple layers of apricot on there to see the difference between the two. What the point I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of shades that are available when your inks are graduated like this in shade, and they're not made up of a lot of very different bases. These are basically made up of the same base and are just tinted slightly different with whites or blacks. So 4 inks, now we've got 7 different colors. Now we're going to go through this one more time, and I'm just going to use the mango this time up on the top, but I'm going to stamp it 2 times, 3 times, and then 4 times. And you can see how much more it takes on that way. So there, the lighter the shade, the more times you can get variation. The darker it is, the difference between the different shades is not as defined. So there's 2 mangoes. We clean it so that we start fresh each time. There's 1 and 2 and 3. This Misty is a new tool for me, and I think it's fantastic for doing these kind of stamps and the variety that you can get. We could come back in here and we could tinge the edge of this stamp with maybe the pumpkin or the apricot on the lighter shade and make it a completely different thing. Things that we've never been able to do with just hand stamping with acrylic blocks before. And I'm really excited about using this tool this year. So this is the first time I've ever handled it. And we don't have them yet, but we will be selling them soon. And 4. Okay. And so now we're going to go on to making, give you a good close-up look at that. We're going to go on to making the card an actual greeting card. So let's jump to that section. Okay, so here we've got our card placed and magneted down, and we're going to take a couple of the pieces of phrases from this set. It's got a thanks on it, and then it has a for and a for you, and different compliments after that. So we're going to use thanks for everything on this one. We've inked up that with VersaFine Onyx Black, which gives a really nice impression. And we're going to drop the 4 in there, and this is the little guy, so he's kind of hard to position because the acrylics like to stick to your fingers, so it's a bit of a trick to get him positioned and then get your fingers away from it before it sticks to you. Well, but I got pretty lucky there. So we'll drop that one on there. Oh, I got too much ink on that. We should take some of that off. Yeah, we got this far. There's no reason to mess it up now. Well, let's be a little more gentle on that one. There we go. And try not to over push. That looks nice. And we'll throw the everything on there. these new style fonts don't really give you a great horizontal line, so it's good and it's bad, but usually just from visual you can get them lined up pretty straight. Let's see if I got lucky. Lucky enough. Okay. So we're going to give it a bit of a dry because we're going to move our magnets, and I found that the tape I use to help keep the magnets from slipping on the card also tends to pick up the ink. So we'll be drying it occasionally so that I don't do that. So we'll be using all 5 of the flowers from this set. And I got a little yellow on there, but amazingly it's right where I'm going to put a stamp in a little bit, so it should be just fine. When we pick the stamp up, we're going to start with the mango again. And we're just going to do one version on this, I think. Should be enough. There is a time when plans don't go your way, and maybe that item didn't stamp as well as I'd like it to, and I need to go over it again, and it gets darker, and that's just something you pay for. So I'm going to just slowly move from light to dark across these using the 4 colors and the ability to stamp them more than once. So this is mango again, and we're going to stamp this one twice. Always wipe off in between. It helps to keep the stamps from being stained by the inks. This set has a lot of variation in the flowers in height and width and ins and outs, so it's very nice to be able to maneuver them around words that you put in a random pattern. Look how nicely that fits in there. Lots of options. So this will be citrus, the second stamp in the set, second ink pad, I mean. And we only need to do that one once. This is the largest flower pattern in the set. It'll turn the corner nicely. And we'll use apricot on this one. I think I may have gotten that magnet just a bit too close, so I'll check it just a second, see if I'm going to be good to stamp before I actually push it down to the paper. And it's going to be a bit close. I'm going to move it out of the way. There we go. And I think we'll take one more up that edge. Now we're going to go to the upper corner. Right there. And this gets some pumpkin. And that one didn't get stamped as well as I'd like it, so we're going to put a little bit more on that. That'll probably be pretty dark, but it'll look okay. All right, let's move it out of the way. We'll put a couple up in that upper corner. So at this point, I've used all 5 of my stamps that come with the set. So I'm going to go back to the very first one and put that one back in. And I'm going to choose to go back to the citrus again. I think that'll look nice just to start out. I'm sorry, the mango, this is the first color. And then we'll use another one, and this one will get some apricot, and that'll be the end of it. Like I said, there's enough variation in this set, no matter what situation you're in, that one of these flowered stamps will fit. You can create some very interesting little bouquets and scenes with it. It also has a set of dies to go with it. So there we are. I'm going to set the Misty aside. I'm going to put some tape on the back of this and attach it to a card back. Just using a card back for these. You can use a fold if that pleases you. And there you have it. So let me show you some of the other ones that we've made with this set. We're going to zoom out a bit here so we can get a better picture. And I'll lay out 4 or 5 of the cards that I made in preparing for this earlier this week. A lot of different colors. That's got one of our blue sets in it with some gray. This one has teal with the purple. This one has the equivalent of what I just did. And this one has a little bit of everything. So thanks for joining us.